Hi guys, so today we're going to go over the equation of a parabola. Notice that I'm only addressing the vertical parabola for this one so far. So this is the equation for a vertical parabola, and when I say vertical, I mean it's the parabola you're used to seeing from Algebra 2. The parabola goes upwards and or downwards, and notice that x is squared, just like it was in Algebra 2, so just kind of make a note of that. Now, just like any equation, x and y represent any point on the graph itself. So the other variables are what we'll be plugging values in for. H and k are just the vertex, which, as you remember, are just right here. And P is going to be the distance from the vertex to the focus. Why am I writing from in caps? Because notice that when I go from the vertex to the focus here, I'm going upwards, which means P would be positive. So it's got to be from the vertex to the focus to know whether P is going to be positive. Or notice in the second diagram, I'm going from the vertex to the focus, I have to head downwards, so P would be negative. So just kind of make a note of that. Um, and then given the example here, find the standard form, which would be right here, the standard form of the equation of the parabola with the vertex 2, 1. So everything in Module 8 for conics will be seen graphically first before you write the equation. So don't try to, do everything at once. Just graph the points and kind of get a visual of what's going on first. So the vertex is at 2, 1. I'm going to make a point here and just kind of note that that's the vertex. And the focus is at 2, 4. So 2 and then 4 would be right here. Now, this is actually enough to tell me if this would be a vertical parabola, meaning if it faces upwards or downwards, or a horizontal parabola, meaning does it face left and right. Because what happens is that the vertex is the midpoint of the parabola itself. And the parabola will always face in the direction of the focus. Make a note of that. The parabola will always face in the direction of the focus. So rough sketch here, but this parabola will go upwards because the parabola always faces the focus. So given that, I already know that P is going to be positive. And counting the units, to get from the vertex to the focus, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 units. So I know that P is equal to positive 3, because to get from the vertex to the focus, I'm going upwards 3 units. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write the standard form of the equation of a parabola, which is x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. Now the vertex has already been given to me, and I know that the vertex is known as h and k, so I already have h, which is 2, and k, which is 1. I'm going to bring down the x and y because, again, those represent any point on the graph itself, so you leave those as x and y. And then 4, I know that p is equal to 3 because that's the distance from the vertex to the focus. So from here, simplifying it, x minus 2 squared equals 4 times 3, which is 12, times y minus 1. And that's your equation for a parabola. So it is good to just graph it, especially when you go to the conics. Don't try to figure out all the variables at once. It's just nicer to visualize everything first and then write the equation from there. Moving on, you also have the standard form of a parabola with a horizontal axis, meaning it faces towards the left and towards the right. But it's still the same thing. For instance, the focus is, P is still the distance from the vertex to the focus. So notice if the vertex is here, which they put a little arrow, I don't know why, and I'm trying to get to the focus, which is here, I'm headed to the right one, which is towards the positive, which means P would be positive, greater than 0. And if the vertex is here and the focus is to the left of it, then P would be negative because I'm headed towards the negative x-axis. So it's pretty much the same thing. From here, I have a parabola with a vertex at the origin. So I know that the vertex is going to be at 0, 0. So I'm going to make a note of that as well. H and K, my vertex, is going to be at 0, 0. And I have a focus at 2, 0. So again, I can already tell that this parabola is going to face towards the right because the parabola always faces into the direction of the focus. And then writing the standard form. Now remember, left and right parabolas are not what you're used to seeing from algebra 2. And notice that y squared is also not what you're used to seeing in algebra 2. So that would be kind of a way to correlate the equation with the parabola. Equals 4px minus h. Now again, we already have the center, but be careful because, luckily these are the same values, but notice that the k comes first. So this is h and this is k. So this 0 would be first, equals 4, I'm going to leave p blank for now, and then x minus h, which is also 0. Now p is the distance from the vertex to the focus. To get from here to here, I'm going to go over 1, 2 units, positive, in the positive direction. So p is equal to 2. So with that, y minus 0 squared is just another way to say y squared equals 4 times 2, which is 8, and x minus 0 squared is just x. So that's your equation for a parabola with a horizontal axis. All right, guys, I hope this helps.